everyone, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps. Today I created a card using products from the brand new release. I'm using the Hearts In Bloom Stencil along with the Opulent layering frames and the It's Always Been You stamp and die. So this is the layering guide for your stencil. There is 4 stencils in this, so there's a lot going on, and as you could see from those photos at the beginning, the card turns out beautiful. I'm going with the traditional red and pink for Valentine's. So I'm starting with a red ink. I'm using cherry ink from Simon Says Stamp. It's their Positively saturated inks. And I'm getting these big hearts, and also you can see some little dots, which happens to be some centers of some of the flowers that we will be ink blending using the next 2 stencils. Look at how pretty that is. I think that's just pretty by itself. Okay, the next stencil, I'm using watermelon ink, and this is inking up part of the flowers. This is going to be like a 2-toned flower, which I think is genius, and of course it's going to be so pretty. So depending on your color choices, it could be really dramatic or really soft, like mine is right here, because I'm keeping the colors in kind of a dark to light succession in the same colors. So the next color is Guava. This is my lightest pink color that I'm using. And then for the leaves on the 4th stencil, that is going to be a tropic color, so a green but with a little bit of teal in it. So this is blending out the rest of those flowers, some cute little dots on the background. Look at how cute that is. Okay, this next color is gonna pop, which I love. So I will line that up and tape that in place onto my work surface and bring in the 4th and final color. This is super easy, and I think you could absolutely mass produce with this background. And I don't even think that this even needs to be just for Valentine's Day, because depending on the colors that you use, you really could use this for any time. So let's blend in those leaves and stems to the flowers, and look how that just makes everything come to life. I love it so much. Okay, now that we're done, I want to add some detail to my stenciled images, which is super easy to do. I'm using a white gel pen, and I'm adding to the hearts. I'm starting with some little dashes and dots to give them some highlighted looks on all of those big hearts. And on the little hearts, I've decided to just do little tiny dots. But let's finish up these big guys first. I'm doing a couple of highlights. I don't want to overdo on my highlights, but this really adds a little something extra. So if you're looking for that something extra, just pull out a white gel pen and go to town on your images. And you can see a difference already in how they look and how they pop off the background just a bit different. So here's the tiny little hearts. I'm just adding some little white dots. And then to the flowers, I'm also going to add some white dashes and a dot. I did not do anything on the leaves, just on the red and pink images, nothing on the green leaves. Now that I'm done with that, I want to use the Opulent layering frames. I'm going to center that in the middle of it, in the middle of my frame, because I will be using, or excuse me, in the middle of my card panel, I will be using both pieces. I taped that in place, ran it through my die cut machine, and now we have both of our pieces die cut. I will pop up that center with some foam tape, and that's going to give it dimension, but it'll give you that fun 3D look, but the background will look still intact, which is what I really like about this kind of design. I have a white A2 size card base. I did trim down my card panel about 1/16 of an inch on all sides. I'm adding adhesive all over the whole background. I can adhere this frame piece directly to the background, and then I will pop in some foam tape into the center of that card panel, and then I can place that frame right on top. I will line it up at the bottom and then lay it down, and now it's perfectly centered. Now let's get to our sentiment. I am using the new It's Always Been You stamp and coordinating die with some black ink And this says, "You are my person," which I just think that's a sweet, sweet sentiment. I feel like that says everything. So I used the MISTI to stamp that. And now I can get the coordinating die. And I like to lay my sentiments over the dies to kind of see how it lines up so I know which die fits my sentiment. Of course, my sentiment is going to have foam tape because I love sentiments having dimension, and then I will pop that right into the center. And I want to add a few little hearts. I'm using the Hug Me Clay hearts. They're cute, pretty little pink, like a very soft pink. And I will add just a few of those, about 3. And then this card is completely finished, but let's take a look at that up close. We have the dimension with that popped up frame. And then of course that stencil is so gorgeous all over that whole background. It's like you're creating your own patterned paper. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project and I hope that you feel inspired. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will be back soon with another video. Bye.